Should we start with the most intense palate and then go down to, like, if someone's getting into whiskey?
Yeah.
Okay. So most intense palate.
Well, welcome back to another Thursday episode from our boys at the Buffalo Happy Hour. Today, we have another holiday edition for you guys, talking through some cool stuff.
So holidays are fast approaching, and I know people are going to evidently be leaning on us for not only support, but recommendations. So we're just going to kind of get ahead of it and give you top 5 options for us, ours per se, not everybody's, ours, for gifts for Christmas based on whiskey. If you wanted to pick up a bottle of whiskey for somebody in your family, we're going to keep this short, simple, to the point, and then if you're within the state of New York, you can buy this on the Addie's app, and then they will ship it to you. Everything that we're mentioning on this video is in store.
Yep, which is a good transition to today's sponsor, Addie's Wine and Spirits. So if you've been following the podcast for a while, you know that Addie's is our go-to liquor store. They have literally everything that we could possibly need from a whiskey standpoint. They also have a ton of tequila, vodka, gin, a huge selection of wine with an in-house wine sommelier, and they are just the greatest people to work with because they're in it for owning a liquor store and just being part of the community rather than making a profit. So they're like the greatest people in the world.
Yeah. So
like Mike was saying, we're going to go over 5 options for you, ranging from like beginner to different palates. I don't want to say experience, but like different palates. If you're going to buy any of that, go to their app at Addie's Wine and Spirits on Android or Apple, and then you can download their app and order it from there.
Boom.
Nice.
You ready?
Yeah.
Should we start with the most intense palate and then go down to, like, if someone's getting into whiskey?
Yeah.
Okay. So most intense palate. We should probably start with a scotch. And I have 2 listed on our list. The first is not as fruity, but it's also a great scotch option. This will run you about $100. It is Oban 14 year. This is within my top 5 scotches of all time. Addie's does carry it in their store, like I mentioned, so if you wanted to buy it on their app or just check inventory, you can on their app, and then that way you can kind of see if it's something for you to purchase. But it is a really good holiday gift, just because it is a staple in the scotch world.
Yeah, what's also cool about that is not a lot of people know about that, so if you're not in tune to the scotch like world and experience with scotches, it's a good one to get to like impress somebody. Like, you might not have heard about this before, but this is a super quality option that's outside like the big name one. So Oban 14 is definitely a good one.
Number 4. Did I list 6? No, I didn't. I listed 5. Can you imagine if I just went 6 and just started going off the rails? Okay, so number 4. This one is, again, same type of deal. If somebody's involved in the scotch scene, likes to drink scotch, and then you're trying to get them something that they may have not tried before, the Balvenie 14-year Caribbean cask. We've had this on our show. We have reviewed it. This is within our top like 2 or 3 of all time for us and our palates. It tastes like strawberries and blueberries, and you really don't understand why it's so fruity. And then once you dive into them and their aging process, you just have such a profound respect for everything that they do.
Yeah, you're getting the amazing Speyside flavors from the Balvenie distillery, which is our favorite distillery, and you're marrying that with Caribbean rum cask, which is just these flavors intermingled together is something that makes you salivate even thinking about it. So this is definitely one of the ones that we would recommend for Christmas time.
Price point is 80-ish?
$80, yeah.
Woodford Double Oaked. Woodford Double Oaked is, in my opinion, a step above just normal Woodford Reserve.
Absolutely.
Which Woodford makes fantastic cocktails as well, as if somebody wants to have it neat or just kind of put a slow melt ice cube inside their glass and enjoy this over a little bit of time. The Woodford Double Oaked is generally about $60, and what it gives you is just that added flavoring notes, and the palate is a little bit more complex. So Woodford is basing all of their marketing nowadays on the fact that they have around 200 different notes that someone could pick up if they just were to drink their product and name what they're tasting. Their double oaked is incredible.
Yeah, and it just goes back to that thing that we talked about with the Oban distillery, is you want to get something for somebody that maybe they didn't have before. If you get them basic Woodford, everybody knows what that is, and they might even be expecting that because it's a pretty well-known name. But if you elevate yourself to that next level to give them that double oak, they might not even heard of that before, which again will just impress or make the person that you're giving it to extremely happy because you're giving them something that they haven't tried before.
Number 2 was running into not necessarily a supply issue, but an inventory issue in a lot of local stores. However, it is back in time for holiday season to an extent, not to where it was before. But number 2 is Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace is favored by a lot of bourbon enthusiasts. Everybody generally involved in the spirits world understands and appreciates what Buffalo Trace is. Of course, you may have heard of it or seen it on JRE, which is another very famous podcast. If you don't know what JRE is, then quickly Google it, and then you'll just shake your head and just be like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But they are America's oldest distillery, and their product is great. It fits everybody's tasting palate, and a lot of old-timers love it, and then a lot of newbies love it as well.
Yeah, the Buffalo Trace distillery itself operates and distills quite a vast majority of whiskeys out on the market. So if you do get somebody this product for this year, then you can kind of gauge their interest in what they like and they don't like and get them something from the same distillery but down a different vein. So this affords you a lot of opportunities in the future to get them whiskey that kind of matches what Buffalo Trace has to offer.
Buffalo Trace is 35-ish?
I think so, yeah. A lot. Yeah.
Crushing it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dollars.
I got you, yeah. Yeah, about $35.
Yeah. So I threw this in here. This is a favorite dessert whiskey that my family, my in-laws, and my friends have anytime they come over and after a meal. This is a staple that we have in the house for as long as we can. My wife's obsessed with it. So this is actually out of Rochester. It's called Cask and Crew Walnut Toffee. They have a few different flavoring options. They have roasted orange peel, which is a fantastic old-fashioned, essentially inside of a bottle. They have a ginger beer. They have a walnut toffee. And then they also have a couple other that are very similar to an in-depth version of a bourbon. And with the walnut toffee, it's $25. Addie's almost always has this in stock just because they move a lot of it, but they know that they move a lot of it, so they always are up on their inventory. So credit to them in keeping that, because it can be tough to find at other area local liquor stores in our area, which for us happens to be Western New York, hence the Bills jersey to my left. You're right. So for Cask and Crew Walnut Toffee, you're going to be getting a sugary, more pleasant whiskey. It's not the stereotypical whiskey that's going to have a ton of burn. It's a flavored spirit. So in that, this is, perfect for somebody who wants to just get into whiskey, enjoy something. You can have this neat, you can have it on the rocks, and then it's just something nice after dinner.
Yeah, this isn't even technically considered a whiskey, and if you want more information on that, stay tuned for next week when we talk about the different types of whiskey, because we will go into what differentiates that between something else. But like Mike was saying, this is a great one that even everybody can enjoy. You can pour your grandmother a glass of this walnut toffee, and she would still probably enjoy it because those flavor notes are so pronounced and delicious.
Absolutely. So that rounds out our top 5 for holiday gifts, and you can find all of them at Addie's.
Yeah, it's something for everybody's palate. So if you are in the market to buy somebody a bottle of whiskey for the holiday season, we definitely recommend this list. It ranges from something that everybody would like the walnut toffee, to something with a more experienced palate like the Oban 14 or the Balvenie Caribbean. So if you are going to pick up any of these, we do recommend Addie's Wine and Spirits. Thank you again for being a sponsor. And if you are going to drink any of these at the holiday time or anything else, please remember to always drink responsibly, be a good person, and Michael,
do not litter.
We're out.